static on records, that's like the killer, right? Like we all
Yeah.
hate static on our records.
Hate it.
So what's the best way to get rid of static off your records?
Anti-static gun.
That's a fair point. I have one of those. I use one of them. Or you can be super cool and you can do a machine that does it for you.
Humming Guru Orbit.
Yep, it's called the Humming Guru Orbit. And don't look at the price on this. This is stupidly expensive priced. I had a gift certificate that I blew. I probably should have bought something else, but
Well,
that's
maybe if
besides
it
the
works, I guess we'll find out if it works.
So yeah, I will shoot a video of this because this is hard to explain.
Okay, so I mean, it looks a little weird from the box, but what's weird about it? What is it like? What is it? What do you do?
I don't know how well this is going to show up on camera, but this goes onto your spindle. So you put this on your spindle. Well, here, you know what? Kill a moment, and I will just move my web camera up there and show.
Okay.
You.
But you have to put it on top of a record, a plastic
put it
piece
on top-
that moves and has a motor in it. You're putting on top of your
Yes.
record,
You're putting it on top of your record.
like a Hot
It
Wheels or
is-
something, like ring around the
Sort
track.
of.
Yeah.
Sort of, yes. There we go.
Yeah,
so
that
this
works.
sets
Okay.
right on top like that.
Okay.
And I will shoot a better video of this.
Uh huh.
And then on the top is an on-off.
Okay. Cool. What?
And then if you hear it, it's like ionizing. It's got like an ionizer in it.
Okay.
And you can actually feel like air coming off of it. And it's going to go around that. And it is literally taking the static off of that record. And it does work because I had played a record that had a bunch of static on it.
What? Huh.
Yeah. Isn't that the craziest thing that you have probably ever seen?
I mean,
And
I don't know if I
takes-
love it or hate it. I really don't know if I love it or hate it. I can't.
And I'm in the same boat. I don't
Yeah.
know either. My problem with it is it takes way too long. It's like a 2-minute process
Of course it is. You got to justify the cost.
to like do this, but I mean it does work though.
Okay.
It might be super gimmicky, but it does work.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason it shouldn't, as long as the basic
Yeah.
science behind it is the same as you'd
It's-
see like in an anti-static gun or
It's your
something like that.
and
right?
that's
yeah.
it's basically an anti-static gun, but it's just like automatic anti-static gun.
And it's just going to
See,
have a
it's
nice motor with a general kind of
Yep.
computer control, and that's probably what the fan's about, is to keep it cool and
Yep.
regulated and such.
And then, like I said, you can feel the air coming off of it, and see, now it's done.
And you're
now in
definitely going to
theory-
get a more consistent result than you would get just doing the trigger method
Yeah.
across 3 points or 4 points or whatever.
And
So
now
the
in
science
theory,
is sound.
yeah, in theory, that record now has no static on it.
But still, it kind of feels like you're just putting some kind of weird little Roomba on top of each vinyl record before you play
That's
it. So I don't know how I feel
basically
about that.
what. Yeah, it's gimmicky, sure, but I think that's the weirdest piece of, like, also by Humming Guru, which is the people, they're the ones that make the record cleaner that I have, the ultrasonic record cleaner. They also make an ultrasonic needle cleaner as
Yeah, we were
well.
so we were
Stylus
talking
cleaner.
about that earlier. So which side is the side with the little cup in it's the one that you're going to put the cleaner in, right?
Yes.
And then basically dip the stylus in and then turn it on.
Yep.
And in theory,
Yep.
nothing is going
Yeah,
to touch
let me-
that stylus at a vibrational strength. It's only going to be the liquid that vibrates.
Correct. Yep. The liquid vibrates enough, and that's what ultrasonically gets all of the stuff out of the stylus. In theory, let me see if this is charged. I don't know if this is. Yeah. And then, nope, no, it's not charged enough.
And so you just put it up on your record player platter and do it there.
Yep. And then it also has a weight too, and
Yeah.
this side has a stylus weight, but yeah,
Yeah, for tracking and
Yeah.
things like that. Yeah.
that's yeah. So you're tracking force, but those are like the two. Humming Guru does a lot of weird. They're like a Hong Kong company that does a lot of this weird, like gimmicky Shure.
I have to
Like,
admit,
the
part
only-
of why I love record player stuff is because of how much crazy nonsense has been released over
Yeah.
the years in its name. So,
Yeah.
you know.
And then
But
little
Humming Guru
cheap-
is for real. I mean, all this stuff is legit and
Yeah.
it's going to work.
Oh yeah,
work,
and
so, yeah.
like I said, the Humming Guru ultrasonic cleaner, I can vouch that it works because I have cleaned some really nasty, dirty records that I have bought in like record stores or like Goodwills or secondhand shops that were nasty, dirty, and I put them through the ultrasonic, and they have cleaned up to where they look like a brand new record.
You could question whether the money is worth it, but I don't think you can question
Correct.
the science at this point. You can hear the difference on those like
Correct. Oh,
ultrasonic
yeah.
cleaned
Yeah.
records. So
And like I said, the only reason why I have any of the stuff is because I had some gift cards. And other than spending that money on these gift cards on worthwhile things, I bought this weird vinyl tech stuff.
So, speaking of not unnecessary things whatsoever for me to own, I happen to have a 12 cassette tape player
I think it's
and
so
recorder
cool.
machine that I found at a flea market back in the day. And this is a Concord F120. Turns out it's actually quite rare. But what this is a rebranded version of, I think it was Philips, maybe something like that. I think it was Philips also did this. But what these were is really for retail establishments or museums
that makes sense.
or venues, bars, things like that, where they could load in a whole bunch of cassettes and it would just automatically play, pop them out, move over to the next one, pop it in, play it, and do that. And
Right.
then, but here's the trick about the Concord F120. Not only is it weigh about 20 some pounds, it also only plays one side at a time. So at the end of
it
this,
doesn't automatically flip them.
yeah, at the end, it's only one-sided playback. So at the end, they'll come over here. You flip the tapes, and it'll go back the other way and do it that way. But it's such a weird device that I couldn't help myself and pick it up. It functions in that you can put in cassettes and it'll play them, but I've been having a problem where it'll eat some cassettes, so I think there's some kind of issue with the head alignment or something like that. And to be honest, I'm just never going to use this thing enough that I'm going to pull it apart to try to fix that head tape issue. It's a display
Right.
piece. It is, however, a really interesting, weird piece of tech that is just part of the periphery of all the strange audio garbage that's been released over the years. And nowadays, this would be a USB stick, right? So
Oh yeah, exactly. Does that have like a external or internal speaker on it, so it'll, or do you have to hook it up?
you have to hook it up. It does, however,
Okay.
have a microphone input as well that you can do for PA style announcements while the music's playing. So if
Right.
you want to tell your shoppers about the latest deals while you've got some lovely elevator music in the background, you're set. So
The blue light special in aisle 12.
the other thing, though, that is also it was used for is to some extent journalism and clerking, because it's record and it has independent audio channels for left and right, so you can determine
Okay, all
input
right.
gain, and it'll record one tape after the other. So if you needed 12 times 45 minutes of audio, it would be a way that you could do it as well.
Okay, that thing is pretty sweet.
It is. It's also so heavy. Oh my gosh, I can't lift it anymore.
I bet it is. I mean, that's a chunky boy from what, the 60s probably?
70s,
Early
I
70s?
think, yeah, it's something like
Okay.
early 70s. I don't really know. I actually have put out some calls on the forums. I went to like Audio Carmen, that asking, hey, anyone know about this thing? And so I did get some information about it being a rebranded, I believe it was either Philips or Norelco. I can't remember which of the two
Okay.
companies now, that this is essentially a rebadged version of that. But that kind of thing was being released all over the place in the 60s and 70s. You'll see it in the catalogs of automatic playing cassette tapes and things like that.
Right. Okay, that's pretty cool though.
We don't have cool tech anymore. It's all digital. That's the problem with our digital future. We have to go back and have weird looking Well, you know what though? There's weird looking record players these days.
There are.
I saw something with lights on it. I saw Pink Floyd did some Dark Side of the Moon dealio.
Yep.
Bob Marley had his bamboo table. We could do. We don't own them. At least I don't own them. But we could do a weird record player topic someday.
It's just about to bring up if you've seen the Dark Side of the Moon table.
I kind of want.
And then Metallica has one too. Look up the Metallica table and talk about a weird looking player, but I do want that Dark Side of the Moon, but that's like a $3,000 turntable, but
yeah, it's
stupid. Cool.
Is it?
But
is
it?
Cool. But it is though. That's the problem. It is. Yeah.
I mean, would I play a record on it? Maybe, but it's cool. Not
just don't play a Roger Waters album on it. It'll just reject that shit.
Right.
So
that's right. Yeah. That's right. Oh,
yeah.
Nope. Instantly breaks if you put Roger Waters on there. It's like, no.
You've been listening to episode 5 of the Record Players Podcast. Thank you so much for watching, listening, however you're getting this short form on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, long form on Facebook and YouTube. We love it if you give us a like, a follow, a subscribe. Love it if you have any comments. Let us know about what's on your mind here in the comments section here. So our next one, I think we're going to be delving into, in the near future, into some speed metal. We're going to tackle grunge. We're going to do a few, I think, best ofs of collections that are perhaps a little on the one-sided side, where you've got enough albums or I've got enough albums. We're going to mix in a little bit of CDs. We might even get more into CDs here at some point in the near future. And we've got a full list of topics. So thanks for joining us. We'll all talk to you all again soon.